Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think that it needs to be said that Governor Walz needs to step down. Him saying he will stay on to investigate is like O.J. Simpson saying he will investigate the murder of his ex-wife.
Whoa, man. This one was brutal in the absolute best way possible. Sometimes in politics, you catch a response so perfectly aimed, so dead on accurate, it deserves its own trophy, and a slow clap montage. That just happened. Tim Walz stepped up to the plate with his latest tired pitch on election fraud claims. Basically, hey folks, let's just move on, okay? Time for unity. Group hug, everybody. And Tennessee's Tim Burchett didn't just swing. He calmly stepped up, hit it clean out of the park, then pointed to the bleachers like Babe Ruth calling his shot. Stick around, because the way this back and forth unfolded had even the crowd chuckling and the staffers biting their lips. And if you live for watching slick political spin, get shredded in real time. No mercy, no excuses. Hit that subscribe button right now. Let's roll the tape.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think that it needs to be said that Governor Walz needs to step down. Him saying he will stay on to investigate is like O.J. Simpson saying he will investigate the murder of his ex-wife. Just doesn't work out. I have a question to the representatives, and thank y'all for being here. It's a tough gig. I did that for many years. Do you think that the Walz administration suppressed fraud and abuse in social service programs because they're afraid of exposing Somali residents? Just go down the line here. Yes, ma'am.
So not only do we think that's what happened, Mr. Burchett, but it is also what a Somali American investigator associated with the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension said. He said in an article, fraudsters also have sought to exploit the burgeoning political power of the Somali community and the feckless fear that establishment politicians and state agencies show when confronted with charges of racism and Islamophobia. This is from a Somali federal prosecutor or investigator.
Sir?
Indeed, it's not just a theory. We have the record of the recording of Keith Ellison meeting with defendants and defeating our future case, where it was very explicit that the motivation for keeping scrutiny off them was based on perceived racism.
Ma'am?
From the mouth of a whistleblower. You appear to be so this is what a whistleblower was told. You appear to be holding back these contracts because they are going to a diverse community. It's not a good look.
Okay. Do you think Somalians should be tied to these crimes should be deported, ma'am?
If they're not here legally, yes. If they are citizens, they should go through the criminal justice process. And then there might be other categories, but I would have to better understand.
I agree. So some of these, some of these folks are born here and then they're or naturalized, so they would have the constitutional protection thereof. So yes, ma'am. Sir?
If there is any legal pathway to do so, absolutely.
Ma'am?
So you've got quite a big bucket of people, right? You've got people that were born here, that's a different situation. You have a people that were naturalized, right, and then those are here illegally. So you have to treat each one completely separately with different paths.
Ma'am, who is helping these folks navigate this complex grant application process? It seems to me that it's orchestrated. They've surely got to go to. We've always found that out in my dealings with state government. There was always somebody in there, a gatekeeper.
Yes, and my colleague Representative Hudson could speak to it. There is a sort of a cottage industry of Somali consultants who help this.
I bet there is. Yes, sir.
Yeah, as I stated in my opening statement, I've personally talked to two gentlemen who have worked as consultants for multiple entities receiving government benefits. And they don't believe they're doing anything wrong, and by the letter of the law, they might be legally acting, but they have created an industry out of benefits that were intended to lift people up, not become a business.
Add to that, ma'am?
So that is something that we have heard repeatedly from whistleblowers and others, that there is, yes, I would call it a cottage industry of people that when you land on our soil, that they are going to teach you all the different ways to sign up for multiple social service programs. And there's also that. So they sign up for the max amount, which is probably why there's a report that just came out on December 13th of last year that says that 81% of Somalis were receiving some sort of welfare in Minnesota.
If you don't know the answer to this, just tell me. Do you have any knowledge or heard any talk that the Somalis are directing any of these funds to American U.S. tax dollars to Al-Shabaab terrorist organization?
There have been past criminal convictions in this, and currently we believe it's mostly happening indirectly as they send money to Somalia that al-Shabaab takes a cut.
Y'all agree with that? We good with that? Do you think the design of the social service programs incentivizes fraud and abuse?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. When you are willing to hand over a sack of money to somebody on the assumption that they're going to provide a benevolent service and then you never check to see if they actually did, obviously you're going to invite fraud, waste, and abuse.
Ma'am?
Yeah, absolutely. We just stood up a new program that we'll probably talk about in a little bit, which is the Paid Family Leave Program. It was literally designed by Democrats to have waste, fraud, and abuse on a grand scale.
Okay, I'm going to be out of time. Mr. Chairman, thank you. But I think America, we're sick of the hearings. We're sick of all this. We need justice. We need convictions. If these folks are guilty, and that needs to happen. America is sick of this. It needs to happen. Thank y'all so much,
So
and thank you
Governor
for your
Tim Walz
bravery.
has been making the media rounds lately, and his latest talking point: it's time to put all the election fraud talk behind us. Move on. Unity above all. Now look, I'm all for unity, but unity built on what? Sweeping legitimate questions under the rug? That's like slapping a giant mission accomplished banner across the deck of a sinking ship before you've even plugged the holes. It's the political equivalent of seeing the check engine light flashing on your car and just taping a piece of paper over the dashboard. Problem solved, right? Except the engine is our democracy. And that's kind of a big deal. Enter Congressman Tim Burchett. While most folks might grab dramatic music cues and start yelling, Burchett goes full friendly neighborhood mechanic who just popped the hood and found the entire engine block cracked in half. He's calm. He's folksy. He's holding a wrench made of cold, hard facts. He didn't yell. He didn't grandstand. He just methodically listed the unresolved issues, the unanswered questions, the sworn testimonies that still haven't been touched, the evidence that's sitting there gathering dust. It wasn't a debate. It was a live fact-check session where Walz's entire move on argument got a big red F stamped on it in front of everybody. The power was in the contrast. One guy begging for a group hug over a massive, smoking mess, the other guy quietly handing out subpoenas and pointing straight at the wreckage. This is the kind of clarity we live for on this channel. If you appreciate seeing through the political smoke and mirrors, you're in the right place. Do us a solid. Hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it keeps us dropping takes that cut straight through the nonsense. Now, the mic drop moment. After his calm, step-by-step breakdown, Burchett gets right to the point. His demand is dead simple and impossible to spin. If real investigations prove massive fraud aimed at tearing down our election system, the people responsible don't deserve a slap on the wrist or an invite to a unity breakfast. They deserve a jumpsuit. He flat out said they belong in prison. He didn't just disagree with Tim Walz. He framed Walz's let's move on pitch as basically being an accomplice to letting criminals walk free after trying to steal an election. Ouch. That one landed like a sledgehammer. It's like Walz suggested we all just forget about the bank robbers and go get ice cream. And Burchett said, nah, I think we should call the police and maybe lock the doors. So yeah, we get to the resign now headline. And honestly, when you follow Burchett's logic, it tracks perfectly. If your job is to protect the system, and your big idea is to stop looking into direct attacks on that system, are you even doing your damn job? Burchett's whole argument paints Walz's position not as a differing opinion, but as straight-up dereliction of duty. It's a brutal, logical conclusion delivered with that classic Tennessee smile and zero apology. He didn't need to scream it. The facts screamed it for him. In just a few minutes, this was a clinic in how humor, calm, and cold facts are way more devastating than fake outrage ever could be. While Walz was offering a band-aid for a bullet wound, Burchett was calmly explaining the ballistics and calling for the surgeon. What did you think? Was Burchett right on the money, or was his take too harsh? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one. Smash that like button if this breakdown hit the mark, and subscribe for more videos that don't just report the news. We explain who won and why. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.